done it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello everyone, we are Through and Go, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host and very best friend in the whole wide world, Elliot. Hi, Elliot.
Hello, Sam.
I'm talking to you face to face.
No,
It's
it's
nice.
good, isn't it?
We're in the TOG office-ish. It's a desk and a spare room, but you got to start somewhere. You know, this is how all great stories start, Elliot. We were over Zoom, and then we were over Facebook because Zoom was awful, and then you've moved to Derby just to make the podcast. That's very, very polite of you.
Just for the podcast, of course.
Very polite of you. And it is one place to start. The European Super League has been making waves today. Literally, all you do is open up Twitter, Sky Sports, everything. All you see is the European Super League. So we're going to talk about it because everyone else is. What are your thoughts?
It's just nonsense, isn't it? You've got big teams simply it's just money, it's just greed. It's like, I think it was Gary Neville said, that it's stopping the dreams of the smaller clubs. As a fan of a smaller club, I've gone up to the Premier League 2 or 3 times, dreaming of playing Liverpool, United,
Show off.
Chelsea, Man City, everything like that. And if they're all off playing Real Madrid every week, so not playing domestically, what's the point in reaching the Premier League if you're just going to play Norwich and Leicester? Well, Norwich every other season.
Every year, yeah.
And Leicester, and yeah, it's just...
That's no disrespect to the clubs in the Premier League, of course, but you can't deny that the money that is pumped from the Premier League are your Liverpools, your Man Uniteds. You know what I mean? They're
the attraction.
Quite a big revenue. You know,
Yeah.
you go to Anfield, you want to go to Old Trafford, and yet as a fan of a smaller club who has never been to the Premier League, I said that to my partner. I said that Jacob, my son, has to see Gillingham in the Premier League. He has to. And Lana just laughed. She went, no. I was like, but he has to.
Yeah.
Like, he has to. Anywho.
He won't care, he's a Derby fan anyway.
Up the Rams. I agree. Like, when the Champions... I don't want to take away from the fact that the Champions League is starting to bring in this proposal of a 36-man team, or 36-point league.
36-team league.
Yeah, which... in itself is a bit excessive, I think.
I don't mind it.
No, I know you don't mind it. But I can see why there might be a little bit of a backlash on that. But then to go, do you know what? We're going to do our own thing is a bit excessive. What I think this Super League of Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, and whoever else wants to join it, whoever thinks they're super. I don't know about you, Elliot, but when the Champions League comes on, like say for instance these semi-finals that have just happened, Real Madrid, Liverpool, you're thinking... there we go.
I think, yeah.
That's a tie. That's a league. That's a match. I want to watch the match. Ultimately, yeah, second leg wasn't amazing, but it has that hype around it. It's Liverpool v Real Madrid. It's your Barcelona. It's your Bayern Munich v PSG. These are something that doesn't happen often, and then that hype and that excitement around the game is like, yes, finally we get to see these two heavyweights. Yeah. Seeing that every week, I don't care for it.
It's like there's the potential of there being a Chelsea Man City Champions League final, but we've just watched that on Saturday afternoon in the FA Cup, and they play twice a season in the league anyway. So I don't want to see a Chelsea Man City Champions League final. It's the same as the Liverpool Tottenham final. It's just a league game just played elsewhere.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it is, and I'm sure you can vouch for it because again, I've never experienced it. Hull City got to Europe. Granted, it was...
We only played 4 games in all, but we did get to play European football, which is something like you say, you want Jacob to see Gillingham in the Premier League. I, in my lifetime, just want to see City play. That's Hull City. I want to see Hull City play in Europe at least once more in my lifetime.
And I
don't mean Cardiff away.
Yeah, Newport. But it was quite well said, wasn't it, that Leicester winning the Premier League is not something that anyone ever saw happening. But then winning that Premier League, they were in Champions League, and they got to the Champions League quarterfinals, didn't they?
Quarters, yeah.
Champions League football for those Leicester fans was a dream, wasn't it?
I remember having conversations with you at the time saying we'll be seeing Danny Simpson man marking Luis Suarez and
being the
Messi.
Champions League. Yeah, that's it.
It's crazy, and it's something that it's not realistic for most of the teams in the country, but miracles happen as shown with Leicester, and Leicester they could well be playing Champions League football next season on the back of building from that title win. And if you're taking that away because you want some MLS, NFL, NBA style league where you just play each other, somebody wins, nobody gets relegated.
You go again.
Yeah, it'll be entertaining, I'm sure it would be. But it's just, it takes away from so many teams and so many fans, and it's just not right.
Yeah, the Premier League, the FA, the UEFA, everyone has released a statement. Boris Johnson has come out and said it's a bad idea. I mean, the Prime Minister, I'm half expecting the Queen to go, I've had a rough week, but this tops it off. So, and you just think, we're not fans, we're just customers.
Yeah.
That's how this looks.
That's modern day football, though, particularly in the Premier League. You see, there'll be smaller clubs from the Championship down. I mean, it's not so desperate in the Championship, but even League One, where they will need the fans to survive next season.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll see non-league teams go out of business within the next 6 to 12 months.
Well, Dover stopped playing because they just couldn't.
Dover furloughed all of their players and not expecting a restart, and then there was. So their league is basically, they've been relegated and they've been voiding all of their games.
Yeah, because they just can't afford it, which is it's a horrible sight to see. If you haven't seen it yet, I urge you to watch the Gary Neville interview. Granted, everyone listening to this has probably heard it because it's everywhere. But
and it's Tuesday by the time you listen.
Yeah, we were recording on Sunday, 9:30. This is already just exploded. But yeah, no, everything that he says in that interview is completely just spot on. Absolutely spot on. It would be interesting to see how the clubs react, because you have to have expected some sort of backlash from it. They can't have just gone, right, I think everyone's going to be on board with this. But at the same time, I really hope they weren't naive to the fact that they've probably gone in their press meeting or meetings gone, there's probably going to be some blowback, but I can't expect it to be too much. So just take it on the chin and let's keep going. Not the price of the Prime Minister, everyone coming out saying, if you play in this, you're out of the league.
These owners aren't fans.
No.
They're business people. They look at spreadsheets, they look at graphs, they look at numbers. They don't look. It's not the emotional connection with the club. I mean, Man United are on the stock exchange, for God's sake.
Yeah, Daniel Levy took me by surprise with the Tottenham. Now, he is an absolute busomeman. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it was not so much Daniel, because Daniel Levy's the chairman, but
he's not the money man.
No, he's someone called Enid, or not
Yeah.
someone, a company called Enid. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it went over Daniel Levy. Said maybe sorry if it, Daniel, if you're listening, tell your friends. If it's not you, but. When you think about it, yeah, Liverpool owned by the people that own Gillette. No, it was them.
It's Americans though.
Man United Americans.
Glazers.
Yeah, you've got Man City Saudis.
Chelsea's Roman Abramovich. Which
is a little bit surprising. Why? Because he's probably out of all the owners quite involved with the football club. He was before his visa got.
Yeah, but then how many times have you seen any of these owners, even one of them, do an interview?
No.
You get the chairman doing it.
I mean, Daniel Levy. Yeah, the chairman.
Or you get people sent out to do interviews like Woodward at United, or people like that. But it's not the money man. It's not the person at the top. It's not the person who signs the checks.
Yeah, Arsenal doesn't surprise me. They furloughed all their staff, got rid of Gunnersaurus and signed Thomas Partey for 50 odd mil.
And Willian at 100 grand.
Yeah, 100 grand a week. And then Liverpool, again, furloughed all their staff. Tottenham, yeah, they did furlough their staff. Both did a U-turn. Mm-hmm. It's just
modern day football.
Why are we changing football? This is what I can't comprehend. The old VAR, handball, offside, just why are we changing football? We started this podcast. How much in football has changed since we started this podcast?
Well, there hasn't been a sold out stadium since we started.
And it's just, why can't they leave it alone? Football's just
It done so well for 100 odd years. What's needing changing over the last 2-3 years?
Why do these businessmen think that they know better than people that know football?
The thing is that it's what I said. They just don't have the emotional connection with the club, so all they're looking at is the company accounts.
Yeah, if it's not making money, but the Super League will. They'll benefit from it. Their pockets will. Players will get paid. Managers will get paid. But players won't play for their countries.
I don't expect this to ever actually happen.
Do you not?
I think it is just kind of... It's to try and shake up the...
It's toys out the pram, isn't it?
Yeah, it's to try and shake up the powers that be, UEFA, FIFA, Premier League, whatever. I mean, it still doesn't quite sit right that the Premier League are taking the high ground when they've messed up a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
But they're right.
But no, they are right. UEFA are right. Everyone is right on this.
Yeah, but I don't actually expect it to ever come to fruition and ever actually be a thing.
No.
It's just a hypothetical Zoom chat, which has kind of gone too far, and they simply won't take the backlash, because if there's the sanctions against players not playing international tournaments, not playing domestic tournaments, then that's not going to attract the players.
That is what I was just about to come on to, actually. I was going to ask you. Obviously, the powers that be are the ones that are deciding this. But the thing is, are you going to want to watch, I don't know, let's say, for example, Tottenham versus Barcelona without Harry Kane, Son and Messi?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not. Because those players, I want to see what I want the players to come out and say something.
If you use Son as an example, that if he was to sign for a new club in this hypothetically this Super League, Son is very attached to the Korean national team. So if it meant that he could sign for one of the big name clubs, but he's got to give up international football, or he goes to one of the lesser clubs, or, interestingly, one of the French or German teams, which aren't involved, then I think he chooses that because he is very connected to that national team, as he's very connected to the sort of population of South Korea. You see, well, when there's fans in the stands, you can see it at Tottenham. It's a pull. It's tourism. It's a pull.
Yeah, absolutely. And Harry Kane, he wants to be England's all-time record goal scorer. He absolutely does. Playing for Tottenham with the chance of not being able to play for your country.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
I don't think. As I said, it doesn't attract it will attract lesser players who probably won't get called up for their country because they want to play against Barcelona.
And I know a lot of football fans are club over country, but football players, the vast majority, aren't supported the teams that they play for. So they will be country over club.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have been brought up watching their country play, and it's the sort of epitome of football. You're playing for your country. Yeah. So yeah, I can't see that it will attract players.
No, absolutely not. Elliot, are we about to, on this podcast, give credit to Steve Bruce?
I mean, I love the bloke. I love the bloke. He's done miracles.
You're not going to throw iceberg lettuces or cabbages at his head.
No, not me. No, but he hasn't deserved a lot of credit this year.
No.
But he has for the last few weeks. Because, I mean, you look So in recent weeks, you've got the big difference has been Wilson and St Maximin have come back, and the difference shows in the expected goals stat, which it shows basically how attacking you are, how many chances you created. It's all just statistics. But Newcastle in their last games, 2.27 expected goals. Okay, that was 1.25 against Burnley sides, but then you've got expected goals of over 4 against Tottenham.
Yeah.
But then previous games without those two players, 0.1 against Brighton. You got 0.5 against West Brom.
Yeah.
They're getting it's a massive difference for them, and they've started playing attacking football with players who can attack. Because Wilson is a goal scorer. St Maximin is
very good.
He's incredible to watch as well. He's so creative.
I love him on Twitter as well.
Yes. And even Miggy Almiron as well. Cracking player. And it looks like for a time that they would be going down, or at least dropping into the bottom 3.
Yeah.
They've turned that around. They're 8 points now with a game in hand over Fulham in that third from bottom place. They've been brilliant recently. I think I've watched their last 2 or 3 games, and it doesn't sound right, but they've been a pleasure to watch.
No.
Newcastle.
That is odd. That is very, very odd to say. With Newcastle, I don't know. I'm not in and out of the club. I don't watch Newcastle actively because they are boring to watch.
Normally,
they
until
have
recently.
Why haven't they played Andy Carroll? Why?
Just a lump, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but
are they trying?
Have you seen who they have up top other than Andy?
To be fair, Joelinton has scored 2 in his last 3.
Well, hold on a minute.
That is Joelinton, I think, has scored 2 goals previous to
I can say that takes his career goals for Newcastle to a whopping 9.
Is it 9?
I think this is all competitions,
right,
potentially.
okay.
But even then, 9 in all competitions.
It's not great for someone you spent 40 million on, but yeah, he's a bit more of a footballer than Andy Carroll is basically just seen as a head on a stick. It's just lump it forward and see what you can do. I think Joelinton, for all his criticisms, is more of a sort of technical player than... I mean, he is still a lump.
Yeah,
but he's better with the ball at his feet than Andy Carroll. Although Andy Carroll he scores some screamers. He really does.
I just think... I don't know. Maybe if they had, because Dwight Gale, frustrating one. Because hasn't he recently signed a new contract with Newcastle?
I think he did within about the last month.
Yeah, and West Brom, he was scoring goals for fun with them, but then he went back to Newcastle and
That's not the problem though. The problem is the league. He's always scored in the Championship.
just a championship player.
It's a Abel Hernandez. He's Dwight Gale is probably the example. He scores 25 goals a season in the Championship and 5 goals a season in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I just had a look at his career statistics. Yeah, that's fair enough. He's 30. I did not. He looks. I swear he's been like 24 for ages, but no, he's 30.
I suppose he did score in that. He was the sort of talisman in the Istanbul, wasn't he, against Liverpool, and that was 6 or 7 years ago.
And there does seem to be a bit of a difference since Dubravka.
Martin Dubravka.
Dubravka. There has seemed to be a bit of a difference since he's come back into the squad as well. Because don't get me wrong, Cardalo, he was put in the squad and he was kept in the squad based on his form, but then his form dipped and there was just this non-urgency to get him back in the Dubravka back in the team. But then since he's come back, I think he's played 7 games and they've looked a bit more. And he's just a very good keeper. He's just a very good keeper, just in general. So, but with Newcastle's highs comes West Ham's lows. Now Lingard obviously scoring again, went off injured. I mean, hopefully it's not too bad. But that's massive dropped points from the race to top 4. Massive. What do you think? Do you think they still get it? Chelsea hot on their tails?
Yeah, because Chelsea are a point behind with better goal difference. All they need is a point from their game in hand, which I think is this Tuesday against Brighton, which you'd expect them to win. But then the big game will be Saturday, West Ham against Chelsea.
Yep.
West Ham need a win there. For Champions League, they need a win there. Unless they win against Chelsea, I don't think they get in Champions League, simply just kind of based off that result of the weekend. It was a massive opportunity against a team which, well, you'd fancy the chances, but yeah.
Are we ruling out Liverpool because they're only 3 points behind with a game in hand?
I suppose a big difference between Liverpool and Chelsea is that Chelsea have 3 competitions to play in.
Now, yeah.
Chelsea are obviously still fighting in the league, but they've got the Champions League, which they could potentially get to a final, and the FA Cup, which they have got to the final. So Liverpool can only focus on the league phrase, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Liverpool against Leeds goes, because if Leeds get another shock result like they beat Man City last week, who knows? But Liverpool have been very inconsistent and very sort of... Yeah, they're just...
Whereas Chelsea, bar one weird result,
been pretty consistent, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to note as well. I don't think West Brom are going to stay up.
I don't think they are either, no.
But could they?
If anyone's staying up, it's them.
It's Sam Allardyce. It's him, innit? I don't know what's happened. They beat Chelsea very comfortably and they beat Southampton very comfortably. Can they? No. But can they?
No, I don't think they can. They've still got Liverpool and Arsenal to play. They've got Leeds on the last day of the season. West Ham, Leicester. No, I don't think they can, and I don't think they will. I think that the bottom 3, as it is now, will be the bottom 3 that end up getting relegated.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Mm-hmm. Can they?
No,
joking. Sheffield United, though, have officially... Well, I mean, they've been bottom of the league since November. They've not gotten high.
They must have been bottom of the league longer than that, because they went 17 games without a win at the beginning of the season. They had 2 points from 17 games.
I think West Brom were doing just a little bit worse.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's an absolute shocker. They've lost in all competitions. They've lost 6 in a row. They've lost 9 out of 10.
Ramsdale relegated twice one season. Bournemouth might be coming back up. He gets a move to Sheffield United, potential European contenders. Sheffield United. Let's not forget. Thinking, here we go, here's my big shot. He's relegated again the next season. That cannot do good for his confidence.
The thing is, at times he has been awful. There's no getting away from that. But also at times he's kept them in games. He's kept it semi-respectable.
I've noticed he makes himself big when he comes out. Obviously, I know most keepers do that, but he comes out with a proper presence about him. I do get it, but he needs that season in the Championship. He gets that season in the Championship. Let's say, for instance, Sheffield United do a Norwich and they come straight back up. That will do confidence, because Solanke went down with Bournemouth and he's scoring goals. Yeah. He's actually scoring some goals.
I did say that. If you rewind to the predictions, I said I think Solanke will have a standout season.
Right. I also said Chelsea will win the FA Cup and you said
Yeah.
Man City.
I said Nottingham Forest would win the league, I think.
No, you said go up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's not happening.
I said Gillingham would beat Hull in the playoffs. Oh, anyway, we'll get to that episode. That god awful, I'm dreading it episode. But it's, as I said, Sheffield United been coming. Aaron Ramsdale, he gets a full season in the Championship with Sheffield United coming back up. I think they've got the quality absolutely to come straight back up. Maybe not straight back. I think there'll be playoffs next year because Ryan Brewster, who knows, or Ryan Brewster, I can't remember. Yeah, he gets a couple goals in the Championship. You saw what he did with Swansea when he was on loan to them in the Championship. So maybe get a full season. He could be scoring 20 goals next season. What will that do for his confidence and everything? So
I think I can see them finishing either 6th or 7th, either just sneaking playoffs or just dropping out of it, because they are going to lose some players, as every team does when getting relegated. The biggest one, I think, or the two biggest, I'd say, will be Sander Berge will find a bigger club, and John Lundstrom, I think, is available on a free. So straight away you're a couple of big players short, and the thing that's going to make or break for them is who they bring in as manager, because it's not going to be Heckingbottom, I don't think.
No.
I think that is simply just interim. But
Eddie Howe, Frank Lampard.
I can see Eddie Howe getting the under-21 job and getting nurtured into being the England.
I've read like Jody Morris.
Okay, what, England
Under 21, yeah.
Would he go with Frank or just him?
I don't know.
Because I don't think he's ever been a manager, a standout manager before. He's just been
even Frank Lampard is under 21.
Yeah, and then I think the next under 21 manager will be kind of nurtured into the senior job,
Southgate,
as Southgate did. But because strange one is that Sheffield United's chairman left this week. I think he was part of the problem for Chris Wilder leaving. Could there be a return for Chris Wilder, or do you not go back? Because that squad is all Wilders. It's suited for his systems.
They play for Wilder as well.
It's that 5 at the back with the overlapping centre backs, that is what we've been told ever since Sheffield United got promoted. That's how they play.
Yeah. And as I said, they were all the squad harmony when he's in charge. Even when they were going down, they were still very much Team Wilder.
I had a feeling of Ainsworth at Wickham that people are doing it for the manager.
Yeah, exactly. And you go from League One to the cusp of European football, but goal line technology stops that.
Yeah.
And obviously coronavirus, that thing. You get the keys to the city. Don't sack it. It was like Ranieri when he won the Premier League for Leicester.
Yeah.
You can't. He's won the Premier League for Leicester. You don't sack that.
That's his decision when to go.
But sad to see him go, but we will, of course we're going to see them back. Let's, obviously, with that comes congratulations to Norwich being promoted back to the Premier League in season 2020-2021, and commiserations to Norwich for being relegated from the Premier League from 21 to 22. I thought I'd get that out of the way early.
If you want a savings account with 100% interest rate, Sky better doing evens on Norwich to get relegated next season.
Lana, if you wish, that part where I say commiserations, just use that next season, because I can't be asked to say it again, because it will happen.
But the thing is with Norwich is they don't recruit. They don't sell players when they go down, and they don't buy them when they go up.
No, I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I? I'm pretty sure the team that went up with Norwich previously are the ones that went down with Norwich and are pretty much the same that are coming back up again. Barring obviously one of the players of their season, Oliver Skipp, on loan from Tottenham. So, they're obviously too good for the Championship. They are. Because they win it comfortably. Every time they go up, that's it.
Yeah, but because they don't recruit, they're not good enough for the Premier League. Because it is simply just the same players. There's a couple of they brought in Jordan Hugill. I'm not sure if he's on loan. No, he's permanently at Norwich, but he scored 4 goals this season. It's again been Pukki, it's been Buendia. I don't think Cantwell's done quite as well as people expected him to do. But
he's still a presence there.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Pukki's second top goal scorer.
Yeah, but there's nothing that screams excitement from that team.
Funny enough, though, and I think this was massively overlooked by me and you, Nyland, Sheffield United's best friend, goalkeeper, signed for Norwich.
He still doesn't play.
Oh no, but I just thought that was quite. But no, they are. No, but they are. But obviously, they're a good team to watch in the Championship. You're right.
But they are though.
They are up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just boring.
Well, I will ask you then, Elliot. Do you think they're going to go down next season?
Oh yeah, they're going down. Yeah, I thought you were going to say, they're going to stay up, but no, they're going down.
Who do you think's going up with them?
I think Watford will get the other automatic.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Barnsley go up just because. But I think Bournemouth have kind of got the form at the moment. But again, Brentford maybe. It's been a few years coming for Brentford. I'd like to see either Brentford or Bournemouth. Yeah, because Swansea going up with Norwich and Watford is just a bit samey. I mean, Bournemouth going up as well, but.
Yeah, but Bournemouth have only been relegated like once from the Premier League, so this is their first shot back at it, and they're fair play to them. I didn't think they would. I thought that they could be a bit kind of mid-tablish Championship, but no, they've shot right back up. Barnsley, of course, I want to see Barnsley. That's just
that'd be brilliant,
amazing. And Brentford again, because they play some good football. Ivan Toney as well up top. They just seem to create strikers. I don't know how, but they do. And yeah, Swansea. I've had a cracking season, and from my predictions, yes, I'd like to see Swansea because I had them going up. But do you think Watford have that second automatic?
I think so, yeah. It's
6 points.
Even if Brentford are the only one with games in hand there, and that puts it down to 5 points.
And Watford are, well, they lost 1-0 to Luton, like their local derby.
Yeah, that's a proper blood match, and they don't often play.
But before that, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games unbeaten.
That's interesting, though, because Watford's 4 remaining games, they've got Norwich, Millwall, Brentford and Swansea.
That's tough. That is tough.
I think they probably only need one win from that, or win against Millwall and a couple of draws maybe, and they should be good with that.
Yeah, fair enough. But let's not rule out quite so yet Reading. I think Cardiff are just, they're 11 points off the playoffs. So the playoffs now are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th are hovering. Obviously,
they're ready
Reading
to pounce if Barnsley drop any more points after a defeat against Coventry today.
Yeah, precisely. So all level on points though. It should be interesting. And we'll go to the relegation in the Championship. I am a dreamer. I am. Sue me. And there were times where Wickham, I just thought
they'd do it.
Could they? Nah. Could they?
Yeah. Thing is, with their goal difference, if they lose their next game against Bristol City, regardless of what other teams do, it's almost done. That would be 9 points with far, far worse goal difference. But the thing is, Wickham's plan wasn't necessarily to stay up this season. It was to build on making Championship a long-term sort of reality, because Wickham have history in non-league.
Yeah.
And if they can build on becoming a top League One team, or even just being the kind of team that hovers around the bottom half of the Championship, that would be a dream for them.
The thing is with Wickham, and I think maybe I'm a tiny bit biased, but I like to think that they've proven quite a fair few wrong. That they have not. Yeah, okay, they lose games and they have lost a fair few, and obviously, but they're not the whipping boys of the Championship that everyone thought they were going to be.
They started like that, didn't they? I think they lost, was it 5-0 or 5-1 to Blackburn in one of their first games, and it looked like they could be in trouble here.
But then, they're picking up some points towards the end of the season. They're showing, obviously, as you said, with Ainsworth, they've got the play for Ainsworth. He's very, very good. And there was that, he, for some reason, and maybe it's not just me, but he seems to have brought that little bit of, could they? And no one, I don't think, ever would have expected to say that about Wickham staying in the Championship when we got to this point and go, nah, can they?
Yeah.
And, they were 2-0 up against Swansea. Yeah, they let it go. It was unfortunate. But they were 2-0 up against Swansea. They can do it.
Yeah, and what I like about Wickham as well is they brought in a lot of players that basically needed a second chance at football. You've got David Stockdale, who came in from being a free agent. He's been about. He was our goalkeeper when we got promoted in 2013. He was a very capable Championship goalkeeper. Then Ryan Tafazoli was brought from us, but he was a squad player for us, and he probably wouldn't have been any more than a squad player in League One. But he's gone in to start games for them And their whole team is kind of made up from that. I mean, Matt Bloomfield's just a hero at that
Mr.
team.
Wickham.
But then you think Daryl Horgan, for example, he's kind of made his name in the Irish leagues. I think Preston bought him and then he moved on to Hibs before Wickham then brought him, because it's a second chance at second tier football.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's partly why they have the sort of morale in the squad that they do, because they're being given another chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's a hell of a man. You saw him on Soccer. He was on Soccer Saturday, wasn't it? Well, Gillette Soccer Special on Tuesday.
Gareth Ainsworth, yeah.
Yeah, Ainsworth, where he was doing the QPR Rotherham game, and Rotherham obviously won that game. He was just smiling, going, "That's right, we'll catch someone else."
Yeah, we'll catch
Do you know what I mean?
someone-
There's
yeah,
that positivity about
he's a
him.
lovely bloke.
That's fair play to him. And we can't rule out, we don't want to obviously keep talking about Derby, but Derby again. I was listening to, and I said to you, I was listening to BBC Derby on the way to yours to watch the Tottenham game. And I came in and I said, honestly, they sound like they are just dejected. They've had the worst season. They just want it over
They're
and done
drained.
with.
They're just. It's obviously hope that they stay up, but it's almost like, I think there's a lot of Derby fans that will be kind of just, they're getting ready for relegation, whether it happens or not. But okay, that's depressing as a football fan, been there, but it's a promising chance for the new owners should they stay up, because if you've got this fan base that are ready to be sort of excited, let them dream.
Yeah, exactly. And Rotherham have 2 games in hand over Derby. They win both of those. Derby are in the bottom 3. There's only 4 points that separate them. So even a win and a draw, because Rotherham's goal difference is better than Derby's, which is, you don't say that. Rotherham are the yo-yo team from League One's Championship. I bet all the Championship fans are going, "Oh my God, Rotherham again." Do you know what I mean? But
The thing with Derby though is they haven't got a goal scorer. Scored 31 goals in 42 games. If you're averaging under a goal a game, it's the least in the league. It's less than Wickham.
yeah, what was it? The starting lineup against Blackburn, I think, had 7 goals all season.
Yeah, it's shocking. But I think Derby will stay up, and I think it's simply just because Rotherham are burning out. They've got to finish. They've got to complete their fixtures by a certain date. So they're playing midweek Saturday after playing 4 games in a week, and they got no points from Coventry and Birmingham. And I think for that reason, I think Derby will stay up, but not by their own accord.
Strong words. Let's move on to League One. Elliot, I see a smile on your face.
Well, we're going to win the league, aren't we?
You're going to HMS, what was it?
Win the league.
Oh, yeah. That was the words that you used. Yeah, well, I think, I've got nothing more to say.
We can get promoted if we beat Sunderland and a couple of other results go our way. Yeah, we can get promoted on Tuesday night. I'll be tuning in to the iFollow, watching David Myler. He's a great commentator. It was his first time doing the commentary and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And I can't imagine it'll be any different on Tuesday, seeing as it's against one of his former clubs. But it's feeling like it's close now. Instant return back to the Championship. And yeah, I think we touched on it last week, but there are some big teams that have spent a lot of time in League One. It took Sheffield United 6 years to get out of it. And so I'm not his biggest fan, but particularly over the last 11, 12 games, full credit to Grant McCann. We lost 1-0 to Ipswich on the 23rd of February, and since then 1-3-0, 1-2-0, 1-2-0, 1-3-1, 1-2-0, drew 1-0, drew 1-0, 1-2-1, 1-3-0, 1-3-0, 1-2-1. It was one of those. Actually, both of those teams are not going up and they're not going down.
You dirty cheat.
Actually, I might be lying. Where are Shrewsbury? Shrewsbury aren't going down.
Dare you? How dare you? But yeah, you're right. It was all looking good 72 minutes in.
Yeah, you're saying, oh, could they? No, they can't.
All right, where's this come from?
No. It was just they capitulated, didn't they?
No, I don't really. I can't. When you 2-0 up in the 72nd minute and you lose 3-2, that's the season over. I think it was getting to a point where one of the main things the reasons why I didn't think Gillingham would go up is because of the games in hand, as we've always said. But the teams with the games in hand didn't seem to be wanting to win those games in hand. So we got to a point where Gillingham were only like 3 or 4 points off the playoffs, with teams with 1 game in hand over them, which was, exciting. And I was thinking, surely not. My usual, nah. Can they? Nah. And now Gillingham are 11th. That was a big loss. That was a huge, huge loss. 6 points off the playoffs now.
Yeah, Even if it wasn't, even if it was still kind of doable on the points, I think a loss like that, your heads drop.
That, I think, for a lot of players, even the manager potentially, they won't say it. They'll be like, no, we could still do it and stuff like that, heads high. But yeah, it's said mentally, you're thinking, yeah, let's plan for next season. Yeah. And it's, I say every year, I'm like, oh, this could be season. I want Evans to stay in charge. Yeah. He's got a 3-year contract, and next year will be his final year. And I want to see him stay in charge because he's shown it, and he is showing it, that he can build a team that are difficult to beat. By difficult to beat, I mean like absolute powerhouses. Every single team hate us in the league. Mm-hmm. But do I secretly want to see Derby beat Gillingham? Yeah. Would I prefer to have seen that in the Championship? Of course. But Derby have more chance of going down than Gillingham, I think, going up.
Yeah.
And hashtag Gillingham do something, hashtag next
Continues.
year. Yeah. Because it's not happening this year, and Elliot, I'll tell you now. I'll say I've accepted it. And what's going to happen next week? Next week will be 3 points. Next week will be 3 points.
No.
3 points off playoffs. Elliot, we could do it.
And but the thing is, you'll be saying, oh, can we do it when game 46 is finished and you're 2 points off the playoffs?
Yeah, but we're still 2 points off. We're still 2 points off, you know? Oh, yeah. I got nothing more to say. It was just... that was just frustrating. That was really frustrating to see. Really harsh to see. In other news, obviously, yeah, as you said, Sunderland don't look like they're getting the automatic promotion spot. Gillingham faced Peterborough on Tuesday, so apologies for delaying the promotion bandwagon for you, because Gillingham will not win.
In terms of promotion, it doesn't really matter what Peterborough do. In terms of the title, up the Gills.
Up the Gills.
Yeah.
And Swindon, John Sheridan, in his post-match interview said, I'm off.
I think he had a quote of something like, we've got 4 games left, I hope they bring someone in and perform a miracle. It's like, yeah, he didn't do particularly well there. I think he lost something like 70% of his games. And
by miracle, they're bottom of the league, 7 points adrift of safety. Yeah. So that is some miracle.
But something that is good to see is that team that are just adrift is Wigan, and they've got a few big results recently. I mean, the biggest was, well, they've got 3 wins in a row, but the biggest was probably the 4-1 win away at Donny, followed by beating Sunderland, which, thank you very much, ticks. Will Keane who scored the winner there, wasn't it? Oh no, Will Keane scored the first. It's the best goal he ever scored for Hull City. And
one of 3.
I mean, Wigan have been so unfairly treated. No, he only scored 1 for us.
So one of two.
One of two. Yeah, but yeah, Wigan have been so unfairly treated over the last sort of 12-18 months. So it's good to see that they should be able to avoid dropping into League Two, because they've got new owners now, and I'm sure there's going to be a bit of a feel-good factor around the place next season, provided fans can get there.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. And just to top off, obviously, League Two, Phil Brown, what a start at Southend. He's unbeaten. They're both 0-0s. So he hasn't conceded, hasn't scored. He hasn't lost, hasn't won. But, again, another miracle happening there. But it seems that, again, the top of the League Two, from 7th down to from 1st down to 7th, it's 12 points, but that's still fairly close. 1st, 2nd and 3rd are only separated by 4 points, and 3rd and 4th, automatic, are only separated by 1 point. Goal difference is exactly the same, so it's one to keep an eye on. Elliot, let's go quickly talk about the FA Cup and Champions League, the domestic cups that might not be a thing in the next coming years, because Liverpool and Man United want to play Barcelona every week.
So, I mean, the 2 FA Cup games, they haven't been classics. They've been 2 1-0s. But FA Cup semi-finals, they're not about being good games, unless you're a Hull City or Sheffield United fan. The thing that I take out of that is good stat here, that Thomas Tuchel has now been in charge of Chelsea for 82 days. In that time, he's beaten Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Diego Simeone twice, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, and hasn't conceded against any of them.
That's ridiculous.
It seemed...
Sam Allardyce?
It seemed harsh to get rid of Lampard at the time, but it's expected. We're now expecting to see the FA Cup go to Chelsea, and he's done a hell of a job since coming in, and they are very genuine contenders for the Champions League. You've got Real Madrid in the next stage, and why not? And then if they get through that, it's either PSG or Man City, and if it's Man City, you've just seen and beat them.
Exactly right. It's a one-off game in the end of the day, isn't it? It's not like a league game or anything like that. That Champions League final
It's 90 minutes.
90 minutes, and if
Yeah.
PSG, if
Anything
it is
can happen.
PSG,
Anything can
exactly. Why not? Why can't? Why can't?
Why,
we be?
why can't he add? If it is PSG, then why can't he add Pochettino to that list as well of beating and not conceding?
Yeah, it's they're not conceding, but beating them, you could think, yeah, fair enough, but not conceding a single goal against those managers who, other than Mourinho and Simeone, are attacking managers. Wow. Fair play to them. And it's got to be fair play to the players as well. They've really stepped up. Like, don't get me wrong, their defence, it's got Thiago Silva, who is absolutely class. But it's not like they have world class. Like Christensen's kind of stepped up. They've got Zuma. They've got
Azpilicueta's played well.
Very good.
But then even they're playing Alonso again. They're playing Emerson.
Reece James has played very well, and they're not like he hasn't brought in anyone and made big money signings. He's just the players that he's got. He's made them. Shame on Tammy Abraham because he seems to be frozen out, which he'll go next year, I think. And
my guess would be if Danny Ings doesn't sign a new deal and stay at Southampton, that he will be his replacement at Southampton.
it's not a bad shout. Yeah, not a bad shout.
Villa don't need him, although he was loved at Villa on his loan spell. But West Ham potentially could be a shout because Antonio, as good as he has been,
You want an out and out striker.
I don't have Antonio as leading the line in a team that are playing in Europe.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Jesse Lingard is there next year, Solskjaer seems to make it clear that he wants him back at United. Mm-hmm. But what does Lingard want? Mm-hmm. I'd personally say stay at West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, getting that distribution, playing Lingard and an informed Tammy Abraham, which we've seen, he can score goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Why not? Absolutely, no, I completely agree. I think there'll be a lot of people. He's still very young.
Yeah.
He's not old, is he?
Yeah, he's still in his early 20s.
And Mason Mount is just...
He's going from strength to strength.
He's just a very good footballer, and I feel so bad for him because everyone was always like, "Oh, teach his pet," and everything like that. Oh God, of course, all these memes that were like, Jack Grealish scored a hat trick. Yeah, but how about Mason Mount? He was good, but he is very good.
He's getting man
so
of
good.
Most games he plays, and
That's
he's a fantastic player and big future for England. But then,
absolutely,
looking to Champions League, big future for England. Jude Bellingham,
Wow.
because if we've got a midfield of, how do you fit into a midfield? Grealish, Foden, Bellingham, Mount, Rice. Do you play two on the wings, or it's unbelievable? But Bellingham is
17.
I don't know if we might have said it last week. I talk football a lot of the time that I'm awake, so I can't remember what I say to people and what I say to the podcast. But I still don't agree with the fact that at Birmingham they retired a shirt number. But I'm starting to understand it.
No.
That's different class.
He's 2003. I was in year 3.
Yeah,
I was getting my pen license.
yeah.
I was finally learning how to write.
He was
born, and what were we doing at 17?
17. Jesus Christ. I think I just failed my driving test for the 4th time.
17. I was 17. Yeah, we were in sixth form, getting a chicken burger and then finding
for
£1 and finding an illegal stream of the Australian football
A-League Fridays.
A-League Fridays.
Oh, to watch Emil Heskey on a Friday morning.
He is scoring in the Champions League and making his England debut.
Yeah, but those chicken burgers were damn good, so he's the real winner.
I went up and they said usual, and my usual was
Chicken burger, lots of mayo.
Lots of mayo.
Also, those going completely off subject here, but those paninis.
Stunning stuff. We should go back.
No, you can't do that. As a 25-year-old, you can't just go back to school.
Just go back to the canteen.
You're not allowed to do that.
I'll go up and I'll be like, remember me?
I think someone will call the police.
Someone did it in a Herbert the Vervet voice, like, let's think about these high school boys is I keep getting older, but they stay the same age.
Jeez.
Yes, Jude Bellingham is a very good footballer.
God, please cut that out. I mean, actually, do what you want, because this is all Sam.
It's not me, it's a quote from Dazed and Confused, Matthew McConaughey. Sorry that I'm in England, man. But yes, but very quickly before we obviously finish, Elliot, do you think we're going to get an all-English European final? We're not just talking about Champions League, in Europa League as well.
I think in the... Yeah, I do. I was going to say I think in the Europa League, but not the Champions League. But come to think of it, I think that Man City will beat PSG, although that is going to be a hell of a tie. But I think...
Would you like to see it every single week, though?
Oh, yes, I'd love to see that every week. Plus Man City against... Oh, no. I fully expect to see a United-Arsenal Europa League final.
I do too, yeah.
I don't even know if I'll watch it. It's just
Probably not. But no, I agree. Arsenal are awful in the league, but when it comes to domestic cups, they seem to want to play.
yeah.
Well, European anyway, so yeah. Right then, Elliot, the first no context news in your flat.
Yeah.
The first no context news together. I might do what you did to me last week, is roll my eyes and pretty much see me out the flat.
This is a proper roll your eyes one. This isn't.
Oh, good.
This isn't like a.
Well, stop hyping it up, Elliot. Let's get
there's
to
no comedic value to it. It's simply just why is this made the news?
Okay.
So this is from Kent Live, no longer local to me.
Okay.
And the headline is just, I watched ITV's This Morning in full for the first time and could not believe the chaos. So someone has gone to university, done a journalism degree, done years and years of studying, years of journalism to do that.
To watch This Morning.
Toby Bryant from Kent Live. Come on, mate. You could do better than that.
Don't call out a reporter. Tony, if you're listening. Toby, if you're listening.
Tell your
yeah, come on,
friends.
mate. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for listening. We're through on Goal. We're on everywhere, and Sam will tell you everywhere. I will just tell you we are everywhere. If you search for Through on Goal, actually, if you Google it, let's have a look. Through on Goal podcast. If you Google Through on Goal podcast, yeah, it's there. It's there. If you Google it, you've got. So we are. This has been a shocker of an outro, but thank you very much for listening. I've been Elliot,
I've been Sam. But you know who I am. Google me. You'll be able to find me.
and we will speak to you again this time next week, probably. Well, we will, but
We will. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
bye bye.